Yeah, they're doing it. They're doing it. They're doing it. They're doing it. Doing it like a preacher man. Doing it on a one-night stand. Doing it like old grandpa. Doing it like a fly on the wall. Everybody doing it, doing it, doing it. Everybody doing the day. Everybody doing it, doing it, doing it. Everybody doing the day. They're doing it like the FBI. They're doing it act like Superfly. Doing it for a second chance. Doing it for a song and dance. Doing it like a big fat lie. They're doing it on a phony smile. They're doing it in an automobile. They're doing it on four flat wheels. Everybody doing it, doing it, doing it. Everybody doing the day. Everybody doing it, doing it, doing it. Everybody doing the day.
I'm going in now. I'll see you in a while. You take care of yourself, and I'll see you after a while. Hey, everybody. Nice to see you. How you doing? Yeah, same here. Oh, God. I don't know. There's so many things have been happening. It's you're just trying to keep up with things. When the rough times keep coming down your way so fast, you just gotta look over your shoulder, and it seems like you're looking back. Well, 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 well. Oh, by the way, you folks upstairs there, when was the last time you saw the headline, Psychic Wins Lottery? Pretty amazing, huh? You see that stuff lately. I said, like, throw the money down and people are jumping into it. But somebody did win that, South Carolina or something. Show me a piano falling down a mine shaft, and I'll show you an A-flat minor. Yeah, I'll tell you. I think tonight we'll have a good time. We're going to just kind of go all over the map. We'll do a blast from the past from a fellow that's been on the show and had a good time with Denny Geyer. We'll see a little bit of that camera work. Oh, a girl standing in front of Sing Sing prison years ago, and her dad said to her, it's easy to get in and it's not easy to get out. Low, 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 these many, many years have passed. She's been teaching poetry in school, working at juvenile halls. She has a radio show. It's something that should have been done long ago. Yeah. It's called Radio Jail, Radio Jail, Radio Jail. I mean, really, these people should be singing that out loud, talking about what's happening in the scene, and whether you agree or don't agree with what's happening. These people are getting mentions from the people in the community, from other people in other prisons or societies, and she has guests on the show, judges. Why would a judge want to talk to people or work with people that are in jail? Well, there's a huge, unknown, yet known scene and it's been happening for years, and a lot of us just don't know what's happening. Yeah, so I'm so pleased that she is here. Her name is Eugenie Steinman. We'll be doing a phone interview with her before long. So what's up in Arizona? So what's up in Arizona? Lightning storms. Stephen Rourke. He rented a trailer out there in Arizona, and he saw the beauty. Left his job, his income, failures in his personal life were just eating away at him. And the cat lived off his savings for a year out in the trailer in Apache Junction. He rested a lot, worked on his music, and now that he's back in the saddle, at least for a while, he's got a new CD out called Billy the Shape, Nude Dancers Wanted. I'm talking about Stephen Rourke. He's with a band called Billy the Shape. Billy the Shape! Also, how are we doing? How you doing out there? How are you? Everything okay? Oh yeah, cool. We'll talk a little bit more about what's happening with the show and what we'll be doing as things happen. I want to send a nice shout out to all people having a very, very, very difficult time. It's not a good thing for some people. You know, feel good, think good, hearty thoughts, and let those people know that they would think about you the way you might be thinking about them. Without further ado, they're on our stage right now. I'm so pleased that they're with us. We're going to do some sort of kind of mellow, easygoing songs. Please welcome Billy the Shape on our studio floor.
All your friends are coming here today to sing a song and help you celebrate. But the sky is dark and soon we'll feel the rain. Balloons and laughter will be replaced by pain. This is the best day of your life. Your birthday party's gonna last all night. Crows have gathered in the trees to stare upon the clouds, entertaining your friends there. Flowers on a cake served with a knife. This is the best day of your life. Canonizer cookies, sweeter little bookies, treat her like a bubble, keep her out of trouble. Flavor little teardrops, put them in a jewel box. Buy her golden fish, ma, teach her Hare Krishna. She's a teen, she's a dream, she's a pretty birthday queen. Gonna get in line to kiss her, you know I can't resist her. such an amazing girl. Your friends all love you. You're such an amazing girl. Wow, fantastic. Do we make anybody happy out there? Thank you. This next song is dedicated to the future. It's entitled Utopia. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Utopian dreams. Say utopian things. Walk on utopian shores. Buy in utopian stores.
To the future.
Thanks, Earthlings. This next song is entitled Love Beach, inspired by Roy Orbison. Did we rehearse this one? The cold wind blows and nobody knows. We're so tired from going in circles, and your lonely heart needs a brand new friend. Take a chance and try to make it. Pretty ladies dancing naked. Pie sometime. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, very, very cool. Hey, we're looking at a few here. Let's just pull these out here. Yeah, this is the new one, Billy the Shape, Nude Dancer Wanted. Yeah, huh? And then The Patient from Cloud 9. And then Drive In and Alibis. Boy, that's a heavy-duty one. Drive In and Alibis. Pretty cool. I think this young cat has done about 5 or 6 CDs. He's getting hooked up. We'll talk to him momentarily. Thank you guys for being here this evening, and it's good to hear you sound. That's an interesting scene to me. I like kind of uninhibited sort of things that are just easygoing and easy peasy. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm just thinking about what Steve did. He went out to Arizona, and you know, some crazy stuff happens all places, and some people like me and then others, they're sort of they're touched by the things that people around them are saying one way or another, and so you want to kind of get away and get your head back together, and when Steve did that, he did that out in Arizona, as they call it. So it's also called Arizona. Do you know what I'm talking about? Good. So then he's a boy, and he comes back, and he's raring to go. I sure had a lot of that in my youth, my childhood, and I still do, to be honest. Since I had this stroke thing, God, I'm as loose as a goose. Boy, sometimes it's amazing. But Stephen is here with me now, and we'll do some talking, see what in the world is with him. Put your hands together if you can for Steve Rourke. Hi, pal. Wow, you're looking great, dude. Yeah, man. Yeah, your mic is a little high, but I don't know. But was it doing anything before it came in?
She got too excited. Hey, it's turned up way too high.
Oh, she's all right because there's somebody on the doodad by the doohickey, by the thingamajig, so it's no big deal.
All right.
You're looking great, man. I'm
Thanks
really
a lot.
considering.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Tonight.
I'm really glad you're here. Yeah.
It's too burning.
I think you know, you're sort of one of these people that I share some things with, and it can be a very dirty world, a real tough world, and when people sort of, they're just, you know, some people are just not on top of it, and sort of nasty, and I think maybe it was time to get the heck out and do that. Was that it, or are you just out to?
What
try
you're
to buy
saying
some
is
cheap
true,
booze?
very true. Things just dried up completely.
Yeah, huh?
Everything lost its flavor, man. There was no salt in this town at all. It was just, I was
Yeah.
getting bored, and I
know
felt
what you
like
mean.
I was separated from something even greater that I needed to experience.
Want to have a little of this?
What is it, Bruce?
Take about 5-10 minutes to come on, and then you'll be totally toasted.
So this is like going to change my personality and
Well,
I'll be a better human being.
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking that, you know, you needed to sort of do that, and most people I know, whether they're young or middle or you know, older, go out and do that sort of thing to recharge, rekindle. And you had some difficult issues as well. Your brother passed away. That must have.
Yeah,
I mean,
I lost my brother Paul.
Stuff happening. Like I had a brother named Paul. He's passed away as well. I tell you. Yeah, but that's it, isn't it? There's no way to, you know, it's there, and you must stand up and look at it in his face and say, "Oh God, sure didn't want this to happen, but it has." And boy, I tell you, buddy, you're doing pretty well on your CDs. You got another job while you're here. You worked 10 years at Safeway, and I don't know what's going on there, but that's what it
Everybody
is.
knows, everybody in the universe knows that Safeway is the asshole of the world, and that's the truth. And I got tired of being treated like shit, and that's the truth.
Well, I don't know, but you know, what are you going to do? That's the way it's happened. You've left it. You're moving on into another scene. I don't know, man. You know, all I know is I just keep. You know, I'm nearing 1,000 television shows, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I and everybody that comes on, I treat them mostly with respect, and that's the deal. Just forget the other trash, and move on to see, you know, what in the world is happening. That must have been cool living in a trailer, huh?
Yeah, it was wonderful, man.
God, you've just got this. We only got about a minute left. You starting to come on now?
Yeah. I want to talk about my paranormal experiences in Arizona.
Your mom is here tonight. Did you know that?
Yeah. I said, hey, Mom, when she came in.
Very nice.
Yeah, hello, Mom. Hey, yesterday was my mother's birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Beverly Rock.
She's a cutie. Yeah.
She's 21, going on 19.
Oh, I tell you, you wrote, of the 10 songs, 9 of these yourself. This is one.
Yeah,
that
that's right.
wasn't, right?
That's right.
Where does you got some really sort of interesting rhythm thing. We're about 30 seconds, so we can't take a long thing. Does anything come to your mind sort of real quickly?
Like what?
You know, it's really cool. I love that stuff. it's easy to sink into people's hardened brains.
It comes from comes from my childhood. It comes from the radio in the car,
Yeah, huh?
and it's inspired by things I really can't put my finger on. Some songs should be written, and those are the songs that.
You brought this here.
Yeah, I did. It's a present for
I
you.
want to open it because
Something to help you
I
pass
got a
your-
couple of minutes.
Your long, cold winter nights.
Oh, dude.
I know you're gonna like it.
Oh, man. Is it a sheath
I
or a
could even
cover,
get
cover
Tiger
for
Jazz
my...
to autograph it for you.
What'd you say?
Oh, nothing.
I see.
Check this out, man.
Oh.
Get a close up on this.
Oh, these are really... That's big, dude. Oh, look at that. That's a good one. Hold that one in. I'll do this one
Thank
because
you.
I'm not so good.
This is from my.
Billy the Shape.
This is a single
woof.
we did 4 or 5 years ago,
God, nice.
and that was the album cover. Nobody wanted to sell it.
Huh?
Yeah. No.
So
The
what?
TV guy said, "I can't sell these on my
This-
counter anymore.
this is
It's too
collectible, dude.
problematic."
Very
again-
collectible.
And it belongs to you now.
Steve, we're going to have to stop I'm talking right now, but you make it so easy to talk because you can just let it go and let it flow. Thank you, man, for being here and being yourself and being cool. Real quickly, who are the 2 guys you're performing with?
On drums, the great Harris Fulbright.
Harris, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
On electric piano, the talented and very lovely Richie Radiotes. I call him Rich
yeah,
Radio.
yeah, good.
Hello,
good.
Richie.
Good to bring the kids down here. Thanks so much for being here. You come back a little bit and play another piece for us.
After all that free pizza, sure, Bruce.
I'm telling you, it was a big investment, but it sure is worthwhile. Thank you
Thanks,
so much
man.
for being here.
We
buddy.
all love you very much. Everybody
Yeah,
in this studio.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you very
so
much.
Yeah. Steve Rourke. His mother's birthday was the other day. She's here in the studio. And you're right there too, aren't you? There's so much in our economy or in our the way that we live and how we sort of think of things, and I'm looking at the lady that's put on a radio show out at Clear Lake. He's really done a heck of a good job. It's been on the air 4 years, and I'm just so pleased with what she's done because I don't know, I try to understand why she's sort of doing this. She didn't really, she did early sort of got along with her dad, and her dad said, out there standing outside of Sing Sing, and he was saying, well, it's very hard to get in and very hard to get out or something like that. And how, as a young girl, that was in her mind, and then she went on to get married and teach, and then teach in what do they call this? I used to go into them myself. I was a little toughie. Juvenile halls, yeah, and then sort of that. And she used to say to herself, I don't want to be pro jail. Yeah, pro jail. And I thought, what the heck does that mean? Eugenie? Eugenie, are you laughing?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Eugenie Steinman.
Hi.
So
Nice
pleased.
to hear you.
Oh, thank you. Isn't it great? Huh? Here we are, 2000.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, well, we love it.
Very
'Cause you're there.
casual and good music.
Yeah, I'm telling you. They're and then sort of, easygoing, fun, sort of people here. And then we got our whole group of people working on the show, and then you're with us. This is a pretty big time. Eugenie, you've had different guests on the show, but first of all, what's the point of the show that you're
Well,
putting
to
on?
me, it's sort of a personal thing, I think. I just kind of wanted to make the incarcerated people happier. And so I wanted to kind of put a smile on their face and also to give some relief to the families. And, it's such a poor community here that a lot of them can't even afford the gas to go visit or even to receive phone calls, because in order to get phone calls from the jail, they have to have $25 on the books.
Wow.
And then each call is very expensive.
It's amazing.
I don't remember. A little lower now because they can buy phone calls, but something like $2 a phone call.
Well, I think
people to
most
call
people,
home
although
from the jail.
they don't want to say anything about it, do have somebody, some way, incarcerated one way or the other. And we certainly did in our family. And, you know, it's like, what? I don't know. And this is difficult because you're in a community. It's called Lakeport. And then there's a jail there, right? Is there a prison? No?
Yeah, it's a jail.
Yeah. And then so a lot of the people are, what do you think, sort of younger, or does it matter?
I think it varies.
I got you. That's probably a great answer because I'm such a dummy when I'm sort of thinking about this. I did mention earlier when you started the show you didn't want it to be like you were pro-jail. What does that mean?
Well, it's like, right, exactly. I didn't want it to be cute, like, you know, Jailhouse Rock, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because to me it's not I don't think we should make it less horrible than it really is. And stuff like that does make it less horrible than it, you know, tries to make it less horrible. But I think people should see it for what it is, which is contrived torture, in my opinion.
I don't think the situation in the prison or even local incarcerating people necessarily does a whole lot of work to make them stop doing whatever it is they're doing. But besides that, I mean, aside from that, is still working to make it a better situation for people. And that, are you getting people in that community saying, what are you wasting your time on these slime balls
Well, we did have a phone call last Sunday. Somebody was furious about the show and couldn't understand why we were letting, you know, people call in, and sometimes ex-prisoners will call in to speak to current prisoners, and they'll give them shout-outs. You know, the show is actually shout-outs from people outside to people who are incarcerated. So there's a loudspeaker recording the show so everybody can hear it. And sometimes a person who gets out of jail will call in to his friends who are still in jail. Well, the person called in and was really angry about that, thinking they were all going to get together and do horrible things when
There's a lot of bigots out there. There's a lot of racists, and then people that don't even think they're that at all.
Not at all. They're just friends, really.
Yeah.
And, you know, when they do get out, they're watched like hawks from the police department.
It's hard. I mean,
so.
You know, despite what you may think, or I may think, or whatever anybody thinks about a prisoner or what they call a prisoner, you know, it's more than what you think or more than what we think that's happening with people. There are other ways to sort of do things, but I mean, is anybody saying, well, there are other ways? There's not that many people. This scene has been around forever.
Right.
And by the way, you have
it's you know, I think there are so many better prisons outside of our country.
Yeah.
That, you know, where the people are treated so more humanely.
It's a hard
thing. In fact,
thing.
one of my guests, Randall Cole, he spent years in prison. And the reason I like to have him as a guest is because he made the most out of being in prison. He learned a trade, you know, heating and air conditioning, and because they were giving those kinds of things in prison. And then when he got into jail and they weren't giving those programs, he wrote a book. And the book is called Felon Before Birth because he's black. And he feels black people are felons before they're even born because they're black. And when he gets on the radio and talks to the people who are in jail, he encourages them to make the most of the time that they're there.
Eugenie, you've had guests on the show, and some of them have been judges.
Yes, we had both. See, there's going to be a runoff for two judges for Superior Court. One is a woman who she seems very nice, and she's energetic and everything. And I really didn't get, to tell you the truth, a tremendous impression of her. You know, it was kind of surface.
And then there was another person.
In my opinion.
How did you do with the other person?
And her name is Shonda Harry. And then the other person is Don Anderson, and he seemed much more serious about being a judge and more balanced, because although he was a district attorney, he had also been a defense attorney. So I feel he has a much more balanced approach, and I was very impressed by him.
Cool. How are you doing with? There's a captain up there. Is it Hessman?
Oh, Captain Hussman. Now he runs the jail.
Oh yeah.
And he, not being a prisoner, but I've never heard a bad word about him. He is the sweetest, lovingest man, and he's the one who really supports Radio Jail. He makes sure that all the equipment is running and that all the pods get to hear it, as many as possible anyway. Of course, one unfortunate thing is that they sometimes, I think, they use it as kind of a behavioral thing, you know, where, if you do something wrong, you can't hear Radio Jail, something. It really bothers me that it's used for that, but there's not much I can do about it.
Yeah, you just roll with it, dear. And that's what you've been doing. It's really important. You must stand up for what you feel, and to have people there.
Right.
In the system
I
that agree
definitely
with you is
believe
really
that.
huge.
You really have to. Well, I have to do that. I can't say everybody has to do that, but it's just something I can't control. And sometimes I'm pretty obnoxious, I know, but
you've got to be. I don't know.
I know, I can't help it. Another thing I like to do is to have lawyers on my show. Because there are so many propositions that I can't explain, or even if I look at them, I don't understand them. So I have a friend, Bill Conwell, who's a defense attorney, and he'll discuss the different propositions. Now, there's another law that's just coming down. I think it'll go in effect next year, where there'll be no such thing as bail. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I'm not.
But whether or not a person gets out of jail before their trial depends on a judge rather than if they have money to pay a bail person. So it's a whole different paradigm. And either there'll be less people in jail or more people in jail, depending on the judge.
It's a hard issue for me, for my family, for others that have no real idea what is happening with folks who are in jail.
Exactly.
It's a difficult issue.
If you don't spend time in a jail, see, that's another thing. I always ask my guests if they're attorneys, or people or judges or anyone like that, who has the power to put someone in jail. Have you ever spent any time in jail? Only one person has, and that's Don Anderson. The other answers are, oh, yes, when I was in law school, I got a tour of the jail, something like that. Very tiny, superficial experiences in jail.
It's a hard one.
That's very important to me. How can you send a person to jail if you have no idea what you're sentencing them to? You're sentencing them to a blind, you're blind about it.
For as long as we've been a human race, I don't think that we've had that many people come across on the other side and say, we got to do something more than what it is, because nobody knows. The idea is not happening. But there are, on the other side of the coin there are people that are recidivism is amazing. They just keep coming back and keep coming back.
I know, and what's really crazy is there's a rule that when a person this is really crazy, right? When a person's released from jail, they have to go back to where they were arrested. Now that
I don't even know why
no recidivism.
Why do they do that?
What's that?
Why do they do that?
Why? Well, the way Don Anderson, and I didn't understand his explanation, something about they don't want to dump people I guess in places where they're not wanted.
Gotcha. I know that so when you get people on the air, they want to. We've only got about a minute left here. I want to talk about what's going on, how the food is there in jail.
Oh, the food is as far as I know, it's really bad.
Yeah,
and not only that, but they use food as a punishment. In other words, they have something called a disciplinary loaf. Now, I don't know if they still do, but up to a very short time, I know they did, and probably they still do, where the person is just given it's really. I don't even want to talk about it because I might get in trouble.
Eugenie,
But they do use food as a punishment,
Eugenie,
and the food when it's not is supposed to be really bad. So
we're
that's
having
all
a
I
great
can say is
conversation,
it's supposed to be
Eugenie.
really bad.
You're an amazing girl. I'm talking one thing, you're talking the other, and yet we're fitting in extremely well.
I'm sorry. Am I not answering your questions?
You must keep up what you're doing. Do not fall away. You're a really important gal. People want to get a hold of you. I think here we are. More information, kpfc.org. That's the radio station that you come on Sunday morning, 6 to 7 p.m. And do that as 88.1, by the way, FM. You'll see.
Yes.
And by the way, thank you for sending your the picture in. That's the day, the days when you were a playgirl.
No, that was just about 3 years ago.
Oh well, it looks great. Thank you so much. We put it on the side of the deal, and talking with you, and some people can see in your eyes how you believe in what you're doing. Please keep up the good work, dear. We love you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eugenie Steinman. Put your hands
You're
together
very
for her,
welcome.
please. Thank you again, dear.
Okay.
Wonderful. Oh,
Thank you.
well, that was sweet. I know somebody's talking. What's happening? So it's so hard, because a lot of it's black and white out here, Yeah. Oh, was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah. I wanted to do a Little Green Turtle, but not very long. Okay. Yeah. Little Green Turtle. I don't know what's happening. We're doing the best we can here. We love you and what you're doing. This is probably maybe one more show. I want to go up to George Mikulski's house. He was our one-man piano band. George, he was Barbra Streisand's musical director for years. He was the musical director for the Nash Bridges television show. We're going to do a show up there about him and his life and what he's done. So this may be the last one for a while. But anyway, a Little Green Turtle, can you shake it up a little bit, kind of move your shell a little bit? Because some people need their shell moved. All right, Tommy, ready to go? Yeah. Oh, that's very nice. Oh, yeah. Move that thing. Yes, you're really honking, dude. Oh, yeah, nice. Look at that. Oh, dude. You can hardly hear it out here, but it sure looks good. Oh, yeah. It's good to see some people out here today, so we're doing the best we can. I don't know, not to do anything with passion, or that's been my whole life, is just trying to keep going. We did a show a while back, and I went to his house, and his name is Denny Geyer. He played with a lot of people, and he's did a good show. Our director got real nice sort of camera work. We're going to just do a little flashback, and not too distant flashback, for Denny Geyer and some of the people he's played with. O'Geen is in there, and Laura Lee Christensen, and a drummer, but we'll call the drummer Sam Spade, and then and Denny. Do we have the thing ready? We do? Okay, here we go.
Tell me what you mean, baby, whoa, that you don't love me. Tell me what you mean, baby, whoa. that you don't love me. Look me straight in the eye. Tell me the truth, now don't you tell me no lie. Tell me what you mean, baby, oh, that you don't love me. Tell me what you mean, baby, that it's all my fault. Well, tell me what you mean, baby, oh, that it's all my fault. You've been coming home late at night. Yeah, your dress is a mess with a smile on your mouth. So tell me what you mean, baby, oh, that it's all my fault. Tell me what you mean, baby, tell me what you mean. Yeah, tell me what you mean. Baby, tell me what you mean, what you mean. Yeah, now baby, I'm a little confused, 'cause you're accusing me when I should be accusing you. So tell me what you mean, baby, oh, baby, tell me what you mean. Tell me what you mean, baby, yeah, that you don't love me. Tell me what you mean, baby, oh, that you don't love me. Oh, now look at me straight in the eye. Yeah, now tell me the truth, now don't you tell me no lies. Well, tell me what you mean, baby, oh, that you don't love me. Oh, tell me what you mean. Baby, tell me what you mean. Oh, now tell me what you mean. Oh, baby, tell me what you mean. Now look me straight in the eye. Tell me the truth, now don't you tell me no lies. Tell me what you mean, baby, oh, that it's all my fault.
Nice. Boy, yeah, a Denny Geyer. Cat's coming along too. He's had some issues with falls and that sort of thing, but he's getting there. We play a little music together. I think two Fridays ago I had Ann Cohen at our house. She paints things and really at concerts, and we went to a concert there with Barry Melton and a group of people. You look for that work. If you get that work, and try to get it and put it aside, because these are kind of semi-important in what you might call the old hip scene. Yeah, and so she was there. She came to our house. We had a nice time. The following night, we went and saw Barry Melton. Remember that kid? Played with Country Joe and that, and then Woodstock and all that. But Peter Albin was with him, David Aguilar, David Bennett Cohen, and Roy Blumenfeld. All of them, of course, who've been on this show over the years. So I thought, man, I'm going to go down there and check that thing out, and I did. And it was one heck of a good show. And by the way, thank you to Ron Green, kind of putting that thing on up there. And thank you to the Soper Reese Theater up there in what they call Lakeport in California. We'll go back now to the folks that did some really, really pleasant feelings. And I think they got more to put out, and they're on our stage right now. Billy the Shape is ready to give it out. Put your hands together for Billy. Billy, you say.
So again, I'd like to dedicate this next song to a very special lady. It's Megan Bates Barkley. With love from Billy the Shed. And will you marry me? The end of love is neither good nor kind. This was a night that TV blew my baby's mind. What was the thing that you called me for? Why did you break down in tears when you answered the door? She'll play the part, but she won't win my heart. This was a night that TV blew my baby's mind. I wonder who you really are tonight. Why did you run and hide? For you turned off the light. She'll take her time, 'cause she knows all the lies. This was a night the TV blew my baby's mind. Memories are just like willow trees. So sadly they stand in the evening breeze. Yes, I loved her then, but I don't love her now. This was a night the TV blew my baby's mind. Amphetamine that she calls gypsy dreams are curtain calls for paper dolls. The end of the world begins with a drop of rain. This was a night the TV blew my baby's mind. I paid all her debts. Now I will take the cab. This was a night the TV blew my baby mind. Thank you very much, Pacifica, California. Does anybody have $5 for a bottle of wine? Thank you. Sweet dreams. Good night.
Thank you, Aunt. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Billy. The shape. Wonderful stuff. Oh, I'll tell you. Good stuff. That's, we're just trying to put out a little comfort and a little joy. This is our, 988th show or something. We're nearing 1,000. It's a pretty big deal. When I watched television early on, when it first came out, I always said to myself, this is the place you want to learn something from, you want to find out something from. And now, of course, it's been changed into some radically strange, unusual land where crazy nuts run the joint. But I mean, but it's all right, it's just what it is. You love money, go buy it, go get it, go this, go that. Well, that's important. And there are people in radio stations and television stations throughout the world that would love to have big bucks coming their way. But for little people like me, I've been doing it nearly 1,000 shows. It's a lot bigger than some tiny little, you know, here's your money, go, you know, go and grovel for it. I mean, that's okay, but it ain't quite right. Luckily, I mean, I was a man. I was able to get out there and work and, you know, do what I had to do and get our homes and, you know, raise our families and all that, and still do the show. So it doesn't matter which is what and what is which. It's how you're going to do it, and do it the best you can. Keep yourselves, you know, straight and tight. Straight and tight. You hear what I'm saying, Ed? Poor guy is about as loose as a goose, but he's my director, so he's a cool cat. Hey, I think we're going to go out with a little bit of David Gann's nice song for David. It's called Shut Up and Listen. All of you, thank you so much for checking out, you know, this kind of programming. It's like easy going, taking our time, just doing what we can, just kind of throwing it out there. You know, that's the whole ball of wax. You take care of yourselves, and we'll see you the next time around. Be sometime after the first of the year. In the meantime, you know, keep your horse's head high, and keep your head high. Take care of yourselves, and think deep thoughts. See you next time, all right? Put your hands together now for everybody. Thank you, Billy the Shape. Thank you, Eugenie Steinman. Oh, yeah, huh? Very, very kind. Very, very kind. Thank you, Kenny Geyer, for putting it out.
Shut up and listen, or you may never learn why pigs don't fly and why water don't burn. Why you can't find a cop when it's a cop you need. Why you can't grow gators from crocodile seed. Why don't you shut up and listen a minute or two? Shut